Yeah, guys. So generally, the exception handling is what we are going to deal with. Okay. Before going to that, we'll see there are what type of errors you may face while you're coding, right? While you're programming. So basically, you see some of the errors like compiling errors. So basically, when you work with C Sharp, Java, certain languages, C, so they generally first compile and then create some file and they will execute. But in Python, we generally write and just execute the program. We don't do compiling. But I, I just want to tell you what is compiling errors. So when you are writing something, right? When you are writing some Python code, okay, let me show you that here. So let's say a is equals to 5, a greater than 5. I'm saying true. I'm saying so. For example, let's say print. So what is the output, guys? Can anyone say what is the output of this function? This program? Yeah.
We are not going to print anything.
We are not going to print anything. Okay. What is your take, Ani?
There is no else, like for an F, shouldn't we be mentioning an F else?
But
Okay. There is no need of else, right?
Oh,
There is no indentation space.
That's the
yeah.
point. That's the point. So if I straight away execute this, let me execute, guys. If I straight away execute this, there is no indentation and there is no colon after your condition, right? So now if you just do this, I just corrected it, right? Now a is 4, a greater than 5, then nothing is going to print. Now we'll say a less than 5. Now it's printing correct. Fine. So if you have something like this, we are getting which error, guys? See the error?
Expectation.
Syntax error, right? Syntax means the style of writing your program. Let's say there are some rules, right? After if you need to put some colon and then you have to give some indentation, make it into single block, right? So this is what we learned already in if-else statements. So this is the structure of your if-else condition or if statement predominantly. So when you don't follow this structure, what is the error? Called syntax error. But whenever we are executing the program, we are getting this. But in Java, before executing itself, you'll get it. That's what the compiler language it is again. But yeah, compilation errors could be like this. Okay, where you miss some syntax or you didn't follow some structure, right? These kind of things are considered as compiling errors. Okay, the name for these kind of errors are compiling errors basically. Okay, so now for the same thing, I'm going to give for the same thing, I'm going to give one more problem statement. Okay, see here. Problem statement is if A is more than if A is more than 5, I want to print I want to print correct text correct simple. Okay, something text correct. Else I want to print not correct. Okay, my A value is 10. Okay, so guys, see guys. Sorry. Now read the statement, above statement. Read the above statement and see whether this program is correct or no. Read the above statement and see the program is correct or not. This program. This statement is this one, program is correct or not. Just tell me if I'm doing anything wrong or right. I just need answers. Guys, any answer? Yes. See this. If A is more than 5, I want to print correct. Else, I want to print not correct. Based on my program, can you guys identify? Guys, come on, it's easy thing. This is my program. Is my program saying this statement is correct or not? This program is correct or not? Hope you all know
Yeah.
if else.
The program is correct.
Program is correct. So logically the program is correct, right or wrong? Now, if I do this thing, okay, if I just do this thing, now you guys tell me whether my program is correct or not.
Logic is not correct.
Exactly. Now the logic is not correct, but the program is not giving any syntax errors. See, there is no compilation error, that's fine. But the program is not logically correct according to the requirement. This is my requirement. Okay. In real life, while you're working, you will read the requirement thoroughly and then develop your program. In your real life, okay, in your actual requirement, right? In your actual requirement, you just need to observe one thing, guys, whether I'm doing things correct logically or not. Right? So as Shiva is saying, as per this, the program is logically false, right? This is something called as a logical error, right? This is called as logical error. See, this is actually not a type of error, but I am defining it, a logical error. What can be the type of errors, right? This is, okay. Now, we will see one more type of an error, guys. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. A is equals to 5. Okay, A is equal to 6, for example. B is equal to 2. If I do A by B, what will be my output, guys? What will be my output?
B.
Okay, 3. Cool. Okay, I'll do one more thing. If C is equals to 0, I'll just do A by C. Guys, now you guys tell me what will be my output of this line? Simple line. I just need your answers in private. It's okay to be wrong, but I just need your answers into private chat. What would be my error, guys? No answers yet? Just type your answer, guys. Type it, please. I need in private chat, please. Can be wrong or right, doesn't matter. Guys, it is simple division. I think this is less than 5th class mathematics, probably.
So the output would be, I would tell, it won't be a number, right?
Okay. Okay. Someone saying it's an error. Okay.
It's undefined, so I'm guessing an error too.
Undefined. Okay. Okay, guys. What is the reason behind that errors you guys are saying? Let's say Anim told undefined. Any reason for undefined?
A number cannot be divided by 0.
Okay, but that is fine. But if you see, when we get undefined error in general, whenever, see, suppose if I am not giving any assignment to C here, for example, okay, I'm using A by C. Here, before this line, there is no C defined, right? There is no C defined. C is equal to something I have not defined. Then you will get undefined error, undefined variable or object C, right? Now C is defined, will not get undefined error. But sure, you guys are sure, like you are getting some error, right? You guys getting some error. That thing you are pretty sure enough. Clear? Now we'll see
Yeah,
what. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, by undefined, I meant like in mathematics, it is undefined. So here maybe it shows division is
Mathematics
not
you will get
possible or
infinite,
something.
right? Mathematics you will get infinite. Anything divided by zero is infinite, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Correct, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So now if I execute this, guys, if I execute this, have a check. Getting? See, read this statement very carefully. This will solve your all exception handling things. One statement will solve your exception handling. So you are getting, as you told Ani, where you cannot divide anything with zero. In programming, also same thing. In mathematics, you may get infinite, but in programming, you cannot divide things with zero. Of course, there are some packages in Python using NumPy, numerical Python, where you can do there. But yeah, in core Python, you cannot do, core Java, you cannot do, core C Sharp, core JavaScript. Everywhere you'll get this error. Programming error, right? What is error, guys? Zero division error. The meaning of zero division error, see, zero division error. What is this meaning? Meaning of this? You cannot divide by zero, right? You cannot divide by zero. This is called zero division error, division by zero, right? Okay. Why we are highlighting this? Why we are highlighting this? Let me do one small program. Okay. I want your interaction, guys, here. I'll do one small program. B is equal to 6. Print. Okay. I will just give you very easy thing. Well, okay. Print. I done well. B by C. Print. I have to check now. Okay. So guys, this is my program. Okay. Now you guys predict the output. When I say prediction, it can be an error. Predict the output. Please predict the output, guys. Can anyone? You guys can unmute and speak. I'm happy for that. I think two mics are unmute, but I can't hear if you guys are speaking something. Shiva
Yeah,
and
I
Ani.
think so. Yeah, I think first is I think we'll be printing two,
Okay.
and not sure whether we'll print if the statement that goes next, yeah, I've done two, then it'll print I'm done well.
Mhm.
And if it's B by 12, I think it will again give 12. Well, I'm not sure, yeah, how it's going to do the thing. It's going to give the output, I guess, yeah. With CV not defined, yeah.
Okay,
If
now
it is
I can.
defined,
Yeah.
yeah, again it will give the same zero division error because
Okay.
uh, after the error, I'm not sure whether it's going to throw the exception or zero division error. Then it's not going to print. I have to check now.
Okay. Sarojya, what about you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear.
Yeah, it will answer will be 2.0 and I'm done well.
Uh-huh.
And I guess for B divided by C it will give the error as before.
Okay.
Zero division.
Okay, after that.
After it won't print, I have to check now
Okay,
because it gives error, right?
okay. Ani, you're saying something. I see your mic unmute.
Yeah, I think so, I'll go with Saroj's answer. It will print the answer for A by B, and then I done well, and then the error comes up.
Oh, guys. So this is what you got an exception, right? So see, your entire program will break whenever you face any exception here. Your entire program gets break. That's what I mean to say. These kind of errors are called runtime errors. Something called exceptions, right? These are called exceptions. Now we need to handle these kind of scenarios, guys. Okay? We need to handle these kind of scenarios. Error got? What is the exception? These runtime errors are called exceptions. These are called runtime errors, right? You cannot, we don't know. See, logically everything is fine. Everything is good. You are not getting any error syntactically. Everything is fine. It looks fine, but when program runs, it will show runtime error. This is called exception. Okay. How to handle this case, guys? See how to handle this case. Okay. I don't want to break my program. I want to print this one also. Okay. So we have to handle these exceptions. Right? So that is the concept called exception handling. What is this concept called? Exception handling. So this exception handling concept is same across the different programming languages, but yes, see, whatever the concepts we are discussing from the day one is completely same with respect to other programming languages. Either see here we are using different same zero division error only you will get in other programming languages as well. Right? You should be thorough with concept, how to handle it, right? Okay, let me write it. See, where do you suspect the error? In this line, right? We are suspecting the error this line. We are doubting that in this line we might get an error, right or wrong? Clear? We are getting the error, right? In this line. We have a doubt. So, because if C value is 0 here, so we may get the error here. So in that case, what we're gonna do is we just need to handle this error. Okay, let me show you how to handle it. There are two keywords. Probably I'll going forward, I'll reveal few more keywords. For now, you just need to have two keywords. Try. Okay. So whenever you are thinking like you may have some doubt in your code, right? Some doubt in your code. You will put all such code in your try block. See, this is your program, right? Okay, this program is done. I may have some other programs here, right? Program 1, program 2, program 3. All this will break, guys. If exception comes, all this will break. This is breaking, okay. I'm okay when this is break because this functionality itself is wrong. It may break. We need to fix it through code, right? We need to fix this guy with code. But why other programs are breaking? All this whole file will not work, right? Whole Python file will not work. So for that, let it break, let it handle this, and other programs should run fine. So that is what the agenda, guys. That is what the agenda. So now, how to do that, guys? How to do that? So now, let me see. I have, see, in general, wherever you are writing, you put everything into try block. You put everything into try block. Okay. So we'll put everything into try block, guys. So now what we're gonna do is just I'm gonna copying this entire stuff into try block. This is called try. Just we are trying. Okay, we're just trying. Okay, this is your try block. And I have to catch the exception. I have to catch the exception, guys. The keyword for that is except. Okay, okay, for this program, see, I may have 1,000 lines of code. For this program, I'm giving exception. Okay, let it fail. We'll see others should not fail. See, even though if you have some error in your very relatable or unrelatable example, I'll give. So, for example, you are browsing some products in your so Flipkart, for example, or Amazon. So, whenever you are browsing any items, you will not get error, but sometimes you may get error in your payment. For that payment error, it will not stop. It will doesn't stop you to do browsing, right? You can relate like that. If this program fails, it should not fail other programs. My project should not fail. My project can have n number of files, n number of lines of code. So all these things should not fail because of my single line of program, right? So that's why we need to handle exceptions. We will see. Print. See, I'm just putting, I'll explain you this. See, what I'm doing is, I'm just putting try block, same code. Code is not, see, logically things are fine. We are not changing any logic, guys. Code is same. I've shown you, right? Our agenda is to print this line, right? To print this line. So we can put this line outside the try block, right? Outside the try block. I'll tell you why. Only this line, I feel this will give you an error, right? Till here I kept into try block, and then I kept into except. For now, we'll just ignore this. Now, whatever the logic you doubt, you put it in try block. If you think this will, what error it will raise, guys? What is the error name? Zero division error, right? So when there is a zero division error, you should not stop this entire file. You should not break this file. After this line, you need to run the code. So let's execute this. See, try and except. These are the two statements you need to remember. Try, except. Whenever you think you are catching some fish in the ocean, exceptionally, put it in your basket. Simple. You may find some error here, put it into this line. So just I'm putting this exception as E, except exception as E. Exception means it can throw any exception. What is this exception, guys? Guys, what is this exception?
Zero division error.
Zero division error. Clear? So now this E is having zero division error because we are catching the exception. Here we are trying the exception. Here we are catching the exception. In Java, you will have try catch block like this. Try catch. You write everything in the try block and you will catch whatever is raised. But in Python, you will have except. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this E is holding. Okay, let's see. I'll just put print. I'll just put like this. Oh, sorry, guys. So what is this E is holding? We'll see. See, guys, what is the program is printing? 2 by 0, 2.0. I done well. Here we got an error. Right? Once you getting an error here, the control moves here to accept block from here to here. Your program will not show any, like this error, something like this. It will not break. See, here we are getting error. That's fine. But next, it is going to the accept block. From here, it will jump to the accept block here. Clear, guys? That's what we need to catch. See, inside this, what I have? I have done this print statement. And then what is the error, guys? Zero division by zero error. This is what it is printing. Clear, guys? Now, let's imagine if you are writing check now. I'll show you a proof. Now, what would be my output, guys? Can anyone predict? Can you unmute and speak? Someone? Feel comfort, guys? What is the error? Or what is the program that I print now? Guys, come on. Easy. It's easy. If this is what you are getting, this is done. Exception handling will be done very soon. Okay. Guys, what will be my output, please? Can anyone? Okay. Let me execute this, guys. You'll get to know. I'm getting the same thing. What is happening? See here, guys. Why this is not printing? Why this is not printing, guys? So once it encounters an exception, once the Python encounters an exception, it straight away goes to except block. It straight away goes to except block. Getting? It straight away goes to except block. Okay. So for that, what you need to do, whatever code you doubt, that you put in exception. After exception catching, you just need to write what exactly you need to do. See, either you get exception or not, you have to run this, right? Then you just need to done. So if it doesn't matter to run in your requirement, for example, if it doesn't matter to run, if it is failing, you can just catch, then it's okay. A number of lines you can write here. If it doesn't matter, if it is doesn't matter, if your requirement doesn't matter. But if you think this line should be compulsory there in your program, put it here after exception. Clear? Because you are getting error here. Why to do that? Control will move to this except block. Okay. For now, this is the shortcut. Let me execute this, guys. Clear? I have to check now, or I can just put it here as well. I have to check now. Clear, guys? Guys, any questions? Any questions? Okay. Cool, guys. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is your exception. So I will write the same thing in a different way. See, wherever you are writing your source code in Python, use this exception. Try except by default. Because your code may give some point of error so that your project will break. Okay. It is good practice to put everything in try and except block. Predominantly, you are building a projects. Whenever you are building a projects. So guys, so we'll go for the next. So same thing I'll do in a different way. Same thing. Little bit complicated. Same thing I'll do in a different way. Okay. Have a check. I'll put try block. A is equals to 4, B is equals to 6, C is equals to 0. Same code, guys. Nothing changing. Print A by B. A by B will give an exception. Will A by B gives an exception, guys? Have a check. No. I done well. Okay. Again, I'll put try. Here also I can get an exception. Okay, I'll show you. This is, you can have n number of try blocks inside. I can do the same code like this. Print E. Then I want to print. I have to check now. Okay. I can put E also, doesn't matter. But yeah. Guys, now you guys tell me, did you understood this program or not? Read it, read it. I'll give 1 minute. Please read it. And you guys let me know whether you could able to understand this program. Just understanding what is happening. Just read it. I don't want you guys to predict anything. Just read it. Okay, your 1 minute is done. Hope you guys understood the program. Yes or no? I just need yes or no. Okay, one reaction. Two reactions. Okay, cool. Let me execute and verify your answers, whatever you thought. Clear, guys? Now, what I'm doing, see, whatever I'm writing, I'm putting in exception. That means here, whenever you're getting any exception, it will catch here. See, outside block, outside your try, outside your try. Okay, outside your try. Wherever you are facing any exception, wherever you are having any exception. Okay, forgot, this is completely our one Python program. You can have ABC here, whatever. In try, except this is outside, right? This is outside try, except inside this you have something else. So inside this again you still doubt in this line, you may face exception. You just catch only that particular line and remaining things, if I want to do this, I'll have this. Clear? Now in this, instead of writing this outside, instead of writing in the exception block, what I'm doing, I'm just putting exception only to that particular line, and then I'm just using this. If this is an exception, we can't do anything. Based on this, we have to do the next line, right? Based on this code, we have to do the next line. This is facing issue, and we'll do this. We'll catch and we'll do. Clear? Now, which error is catched? This one or this one? E or F? Tell me, guys, E or F? What is the exception it catched? E or F? Guys, you guys there? Okay, cool. Yeah, E is correct because we are getting error here. The immediate exception for this is here. Clear, guys? Okay, cool. After this, you can write any line. This is fine. Python. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'll give you one more scenario. Okay. I'll give you one more scenario. Let's do this, guys. Let's say x is equals to 9, y is equals to 1. Now you understood, guys, right? How to catch an exception, right? And save other code. That's the only agenda of this class till the first half. Try. Let's say you are writing a code to open a file. Okay, file opened. Okay, file opened. Okay. Why I'm putting this in a try block? Anyone? Anyone? Why I'm putting this in a try block, file opened code? See, I just wrote in print statement. Imagine you're writing a code for opening a file. Opening a file. So if file is not there, what you will do, guys? You will get an error, right? You will get an exception. Your program will break. Let's say I'm writing file.open, file.open, and I'll give path in your computer, C drive, whatever it is, right? So file itself is not there. You'll face an error or not. That's called an exception again. There is no file, but you're trying to do something else on that file. So now let's imagine this is your file opening code. Let's say your file is open and you wrote an exception here. And you're writing an exception here as E, right? Now you're gonna print. Now you're gonna print. See, you can actually do this way. Hey, see, mostly what kind of error you can get it here, guys? If your y is 0, you'll get some error like 0 division error. Till now we know. Okay, let's see. Hey, you can't. Let me do it, guys. Hey, you can't EIDE by 0. Okay. Print exception. See here, you can print any message of you want, any message you want, right? But you are also printing your actual exception, what it is throwing. One more new terminology. Guys, now this is your code, guys. See, only these 3 keywords. That's it. Try, catch, finally. Okay. What will be the output of this program, guys? Can anyone say what will be the output? Guys, come on. I don't like silence here. What will be the output of your program? Very simple. Till whatever you learned, you tell me. Finally, I didn't disclose, leave it for now. Finally, if you want, if you know, you tell, otherwise you can ignore finally block. Tell me what is the output of the try and except block, guys, for that particular program. Guys, is it that difficult to predict the answer? Aneem, your answer, please. Shiva. Good, guys. So will this statement will print or not?
Yeah, it should print. Yeah.
Okay, Anim sent me the answer. Let me paste that. This is what the answer Anim sent, guys. Okay. So let me execute this and tell me. Okay, the answer is correct. May I know why, what is the reason, like, what made you to send this answering? Can you explain it?
Yeah, so first in try block, the print one and two lines goes as expected. Because we do not have any exception here, I think the exec block will be skipped and then finally print comes in.
Okay, do you know what the finally does?
I assume like it is like the end, like once everything else is done, the finally ones
Okay,
will
okay, cool.
execute.
Will make sense. So see, guys, yeah, these two lines will predominantly print. If because there is no exception, it will not go into except block. And whatever the see, whether you face exception or whether you don't face an exception, when you have a finally block, it will execute. It doesn't matter whether you have an exception or whether you don't have an exception, the finally block will predominantly print without any excuses, right? Clear? This is what the finally. So we have to put in such a way, we have to use finally in such a way. See, in this example, imagine if someone opened the file, doing some operation, okay? End of the day, they have to close the file or not. If they leave the file open, if they leave the file open, what will happen, guys? It will consume memory. Correct? Your system will consume memory. So even in your Python program as well, when you open a file, everything goes good. You have done some operations, no exceptions caused. End of the day, even though exceptions caused, end of the day, what you need to do, guys? What do you need to do? You have to close the file, right or wrong? Again, I'll repeat. So whenever you are writing any code in your try block using file opening, right? When you opened a file, in general, imagine your normal file system. When you open a file and you perform an operation, there is no exception here. So it will not go to except block. Let's minimize this. It will not go inside this except block, right? Once, whether you have an exception or you don't have an exception, what finally block does is it will execute irrespective of your exception or not. Irrespective there is an exception or not, is finally block will get executed. So in such note, that note, what kind of code you generally put in finally? Here you opened a file. End of the day, you have to close this file or not. Otherwise, it will consume memory. So such kind of code you will put it in finally block. I have I have made this with your print statements, but predominantly you'll have file dot open, file dot close. There are some methods, right? For your understanding, made it easy. I've just kept your print statements to understand. Clear, guys? You need to write a code in finally in such a way you have to make sure whether you are facing an exception or if you're not facing an exception, you should just use this finally block. Finally block will run however the case, whether you have an exception, whether you don't have an exception, finally will straight away runs. So what kind of code you need to put in finally? Whenever something is open, you have to close that. Incomplete things. You should not make things incomplete. Finally, however the case, whether you have opened an exception, done an exception in an operations or not, you just use finally to close. Is this thing is clear? Okay. Now we'll go for next. We'll go for next. Again, this is what you already learned. I'll just show it again. Print, opening a file open. See, I'm writing in print statement, but think whether I'm actual writing file operation code. Enter input. I mean to say open a file, write some code, right? Print of A by B. See it, guys. When you say block, you'll get colon at the end. Same like if else for loop. Okay, so handling zero division. Zero division exception E. And finally, what I have to do? Whether I get an exception or not, I have to close my opened file. Simple. Clear, guys? This is fine? Fine? This is running perfectly fine. So what if I just change b is equals to 0? What if I change b is equals to 0? So what you are going to get, guys? Just tell me the output.
Instead of
Can
2.0, we get handling zero division.
Okay, handling zero division. I just
Oh
need
my.
I just need entire output.
Okay. I'll print chat, send you in the chat.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay. Guys, others also please try. What will be the output of this function program? Sorry. Okay. Others also please try, guys. Should not wait for once. Oh, guys, let me execute this. You can send your chat, honey. You can cross check. So this is the output, guys. I'm not sure. Guys, any doubt, please raise your hand in this output. If you have any question, just raise your hand. If no question, give thumbs up. Shiva, Saroja, what about you guys? Whether you can relate this output or not.
Yeah, looks good for me.
Okay, cool. Fine. So now I'll just do small thing. I will be very specific. See, I've just used exception and this is printing division by 0. Okay, this is fine. I can do this way. But when you're doing a larger projects, you have a lot of exceptions, right? When you may have a lot of exceptions. So in that case, what you're gonna do is you just need to make sure your exception should be very specific, very specific. Okay. See, this is common exception. When I do exception, you will have everything goes here. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. So I'll do the same code in a different way. So what is this error name, guys? What is this exception name? Saroja, what is this exception name?
Division by zero.
Zero division error, right? We got zero division error. So instead of exception, I will catch it with zero division error as jet. Zero division error as jet. Clear? Now I'll just copy this and then put it here. I'll just copy this and put it here. Okay. I'll print something here. Just something, put it here. Right? So now what I'm doing, we know that, okay, we know that what kind of error we may face here. Okay. Now what we are doing is, so what it will print, guys, in this case, what it will print? You just tell me the code. This will make you more clear. Shiva, can you able to say this? What is the output of this? Saroja, can you try? Aneem, can you try? I don't know whether you guys are following this or not. It's a very simple code.
Yeah. So I'm guessing like just the previous answer, the first open file will happen, enter input will be printed. Because A by B gives us the zero division error, the handling zero division, comma zero division error goes. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was C instead of E, handling zero division.
Yeah.
Yeah. So zero division error happens, and then the next exception will not happen. Because except for zero division error, no other exceptions happened, right?
Exactly.
And
So
then
yeah,
finally file close happens.
yeah, exactly. That will happen now. See, guys. So what it is happening? So we already know whether it will be zero division error. So we catched it using zero division error. There is no point it will go here. See, exception is your main. Okay, I'll just show you in the paint. If you don't know, just put exception, this like this. But if you know, it's better to use. See, exception is your parent. Okay, exception is your parent kind of thing. Now you have zero division. These are child division error. Okay. Similarly, you have other errors. File not found error, where you are trying to open a file which is not available. File not found exception. Very good. File not found exception. Clear? Similarly, you have different. If you don't know what kind of exception you are trying to catch, then you just use something else. Okay. You just use this exception. Otherwise, you just use, better to use this. Okay. Child class. Specific. You should be very specific because your project is too large. You don't know where to use what, how to use, because if you use everything it will not be so specific to catch exception. So in this case, you catching here, so that next code you can write it whatever you want. Okay. It's always good to catch the sub exceptions. Worst case, you use this. Okay, cool. So now similarly, you have another exception. Okay, I'll just put psi. A by B. What will be happening, guys? In general, A by B, let's see here. A is equals to 9. B is equals to psi. So now if you do A by B, can we do this, guys? By just seeing, you know this is an error, right? You know this is an error because You cannot divide a number with string. You cannot divide number with string. Okay? If I just execute it, what kind of error you're getting? Guess what kind of error you're getting? Type error.
Type error. Yeah.
So now, if I just want to do this, guys, I will just use what? Type error. I'll just use type error. Let me run this code. See? Unsupported operand type. You're getting the same thing here, right? Same thing. Type error I catched. What it done? When it encountered error here, it didn't went to zero division error because you are putting integer by string. So when you are getting exception here, it will throw. This is throwing an exception inside your try. Where it is throwing exception? To your type error class, type error catch block, right? In your type error except block. So inside this, we are catching it. Now we are having this. Is this thing clear, guys? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I have one quick question is,
Yeah.
like we are having errors for different, like zero division error or type error. Do we need to remember all this? Like,
No, not required, not required. No need. See, in your programming, apart from syntax, don't remember anything.
okay.
Okay, see, these things will come because even I also don't know. I just done like this, right? I also don't know whether it's a type error or value error, whatever it is. So what I'm trying to do is, for example, if I don't know, okay, I have except block, right? Exception block, exception as E. Now I'll just run this code. I don't know type error, but I just ran this code. Okay. Now I'm getting this. Right? In place of E. But I don't know whether it's a type error or not. So what I'll do, the same thing I'll copy here and I'll execute like this. I got type error. Okay. I'll just replace this with type error while I'm coding. That's it. If you want to, if you have only one exception, you can straight away leave like this. If your code demands only to catch one exception, you don't need to even write this also. Leave it. Completely fine. But you have larger code, it is growing, then you may have different exceptions. Clear? It's way of writing. Clear?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea is whenever you have an exception, first it will catch to specific class. Similarly, you have value error exception where you are giving a wrong values. Instead you are giving integer, the code is demanding string, something like that. See, these are my cases. Value error. Okay, read it. What is value error? This is your exception. This is your assignment. See, you have different errors, guys. Different exception classes in Python. You can go through because these are most popular. Okay, one more is file not found exception. See, file not found exception. See, you can put everything E. That's okay because inside this block you are using this E. Okay, inside this block you are using this E. So this E is for this E only. Okay, but I don't want to confuse you much, but I just make it, right? Put F. Because this block will have that own scope of F. This block will have that own scope of V, own scope of Z. Now if I run it, see, it's not value error, right? It's type error. We are not catching type error. So that's why I told any error I don't know, this is printing, going to parent, and then yeah. Later you will see the logs. Okay, this is, consider this as your logs. Okay, this is your log. Okay, now you will understand. Okay, if you just paste this in Google, no need to remember, just paste this in. By just reading this, you will see, right? Unsupported operand type integer and string. It is clearly showing. Okay, for a programmer, it is clearly showing. Then by seeing this error message, you will try to fix it. Okay, you should not get a string here. You should get some integer value. Then your program runs fine. No need to do any exceptions. Go to finally. Clear, guys? Is this thing is clear? Cool. Any questions, Saroja, Shiva? Anim already sent a reaction. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So guys, if you see any code in production, okay, you will just do these exceptions. I am not sure. Let me check. Maybe any Python projects in GitHub, if they are following any standard, right? Python project GitHub. Let's see. If any project, say for example, I'm not sure machine learning projects having that. They generally use, okay, they generally don't put code here. App.py. See, this is bad code. No, I'm not straight away saying bad because they should at least use some try and accept, at least one. Okay. Any standard code, if you take, they should definitely use this try and accept block. Of course, for very small, see, for these kind of things, there is no point of using because these are very basic checks, right? They are very basic checks. You don't need to use for these kind of things. But if any complex logics where you have to deal with different, see, here they have to use it, guys. They have not used something they wrote, but here they should use. See, they are opening a file here. If there is no file, what they will do? Code will not run. Right or wrong? Code will not run itself. So you guys just have to use these exceptions, make a habit of it using exception handling. Python is stuck. I'm not sure. See, especially while you're doing calculations, you should be very careful of using this Python code exceptions. And also, when you're trying to use this, what we call, when you're trying to use the complex logics, you should be able to use this exception handling. Especially when you're opening files, when you're doing any calculations. See, if this is not there, you'll straight away get an error. They're using cell, so they have not used, but yeah. I'll share a few of the projects where they've been using most of the standardized code, but I believe you guys will start using the exceptions, exception handling, try catch, try accept, put try accept, that's it. Because we don't know where the code will fail. See, when you will use in any complex transformations, right? If any complex transformations you may use or any complex calculations, file openings, right? These kind of things you will definitely use exceptions, right? Cool. With this note, if you guys don't have any questions, we'll meet at 5:20, right? And we'll see the most important concept, which is called OORs. I'll just give a touch upon that. Tomorrow we'll discuss in details, right? Don't miss it, guys. Yeah.